Hello, and welcome to another Rouge unit of the Reek. And today we're taking a look at the VK1801 light tank, available to Cork 559. In September of 1939, the Germans and the Works were producing a new light tank to replace the older Panzer runs in the infantry support role, but the design had a catch, you see. It gotta have the most armour possible within a small light tank design, and by 42 they came up with the VK1801, or officially designated the Panzer I Model F. And they did it, they slapped 80mm of frontal armour, 50mm on the side and rear, on a small light tank design. But this would weigh 20 tons, it would also be rather slow, and also required an interleaved rear suspension system to stop it from sinking into the ground. Essentially, this was a mini Tiger tank, but only armed with machine guns. It only produced 30 of these vehicles. They were intended to build more, but I think they realised that by 1942 standards, a tank only armed with machine guns wasn't really going to cut it. And so, the ones that it did build would mainly be sent off to the Eastern Front, so some were sent to Yugoslavia in anti-partisans operations. They'd mainly see action in Kursk, where a lot of them were destroyed, and the rest were really just used in reserved units for the rest of the war. That's how Cork got a hand in a few of these tanks. In-game, the VK1801 is a 20-point light tank or is in a support tab available exclusively to Cork 559, and it has one weapon. It's 2 machine guns. Not one, but 2 of them. They're pretty alright, pretty standard tank machine gun loadout. In terms of armor layout, you got a thick 80mm of frontal armor, and you do have top armor, 50 on the side and 50 up back. And if we pop down to the miscellaneous stat, it goes 25km off-road, 40km on the road, bad stealth and very low optics capability. In battle, well, if you remember the Panzer I being the pacifist on an SD-44, this is pretty much the same thing. It's gonna be using it in the same role as, well, an infantry support tank, because that's the only thing you can do, as you only have 2 machine guns. And in that role, it's pretty good. 2 machine guns is better than 1 machine gun, or heck, even no machine guns. And bringing it in a town or forest can prove to be rather beneficial to help your infantry. You only ever want to use it in towns or forests. Do not bring this thing out in the open if you can avoid it, as it will get killed by tanks and AT guns that will shoot at you and you can't even fire back, which is a bit of a bummer. The nice thing is its armor layout, because it has a ridiculous armor layout. 80mm of frontal armor means that you can shrug off lighter AT weaponry and have a good chance of bouncing, you know, like more medium caliber like T-34 76 guns, so they can still penetrate you. But what nice is the side armor, 50mm side and rear armor. You also have a very good chance of actually bouncing AT rifles, and those things can be a real pain in the ass when you're running around in towns and forests as those strokey DP squads are pounding away with their PTRD rifles. So that's very lovely. That's better side armor in a Panzer IV. Heck, this is a better armor profile in a Panzer IV, and for 20 points as a light tank, quote unquote. You don't have any anti-tank weaponry, of course. That really is the big bummer of this vehicle, as you can only use it in CQC engagements. I highly recommend taking it in Cork, because it's definitely a very nice unit to have. I recommend taking them in A phase of 1-star veterancy. Yeah, so you start a base 1-star veterancy, which is very interesting. I would not recommend the 2-star veterancy. It's a bit of a silly option. I don't think you need the extra veterancy to shoot some machine guns. Overall, this is a chunky tank. It's an odd tank. It's very bizarre, but it's fun to use, and it really fits a whole Cork 559. Or just slap everything together and hope it works. And well, I'm gonna leave it off. Yeah, this has been another Rouge unit of the week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And usual, please just take it easy.